I'm joined now by research fellow from Munster Technological University, Alex Vakaloudis. Hi, Alex.
Hi, nice to be here.
Nice to meet you. You're the one I really want to talk to because you're the one who has put together the chatbot. I know you work on the science side of everything. So tell me a little bit about how you go developing a chatbot. What's the difference between that and an app?
Yeah, well, it's another software application. We used to have desktop applications on our PC, Office for example. Then we moved to mobile apps, all the millions of ones we have, web applications where we do our online shopping, and now we have conversational agents or chatbots, which is, as I said, another software application. But the interaction is different. We discuss with the chatbot, either with a voice or with a text. So it's not simply clicking on links on a web app or tapping on the phone on a mobile app. We need to tell the chatbot something, and the chatbot tries to understand what we're trying to do and responds. So in that sense, it's more difficult because the chatbot need to be more intelligent. Same way, the websites these days have to be intelligent as well. Like make a recommendation, tell us what you want to do next. A chatbot does that all the time.
And explain this to me because I don't know the technology. Is it always for the computer, for the chatbot, is it always that you program all the possible answers you can think of and then it registers one? Yes. I mean, the AI is advanced, but it's not actually thinking itself, is it?
If it was year 2032, I would have said yes. We are not there yet. They are not so intelligent, the chatbots. Some chatbots are what we call finite, do a specific thing. For example, I want to book a table in a restaurant. The chat will ask me when, how many, and what's your name. We'll perform this, but it's not intelligent. We'll do something like only this operation. Now we're trying to build intelligent chatbots, and we're getting there, but there are many challenges. We're not there yet from the artificial intelligence point of view.
Yeah, I mean, how much AI is there in the Chatpal chatbot?
The real challenge for Chatpal is that it is multilingual.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about that. What extra layer did that put in?
Now, the chatbots to be trained and be intelligent, they need data. Data to tell them to understand, to actually to train them. In English or any other main languages, we have a lot of data. But in other languages like Swedish or Gaelic, there is no data to train the chatbot. So we had to find an intelligent way to actually take the input of the user in Swedish, in Finnish, in Scottish Gaelic, translate it to English, perform a bit of intelligence, translate again, and give them the answer.
All right. So when you say data, I mean, the data is in computer speak. What is that, binary or what? What do you call that? I mean, that's a sort of universal language.
Yes. What I mean by training data, it's that you give them examples of good responses and bad responses, and the chatbot starts understanding how it should respond to its input from the user.
What are you saying? The good responses, is that?
Yes.
Yes, I could make it that way. Right. Okay. And is there was a specific not problem but challenge with Gaelic, I believe, because of the way in Gaelic and same in Irish, we don't say yes and no directly.
Oh yes, because we started the project, we thought, okay, translation, fair enough, easy. But then there are challenges, as you said, the yes and no in Scottish Gaelic is not a single word. Yeah. So it depends again on the context. So that's another challenge that we had to handle in an intelligent way. How to understand which actually yes we should say.
Yes, so for example, if you ask somebody in Irish or Scots Gaelic, are you going? They say, I'm going. And are you doing? I'm doing. Yes. So you had to program in lots of different possibilities for that?
Yes.
And did you manage it?
I think so. I don't speak Scottish Gaelic, so so I think we have done it, yes.
Yes, well that brings me on to the testing of it. Did you test it with human beings before it went out to users?
We had to go through a lot of rounds of testing. First was us in Cork internally, then the members of the consortium. Then we had what we called a short trial with invited participants. And now we are in the stage of the long trial and being open to the public.
And are you still in a process of learning with it? Are you still getting feedback that says, okay, we need to tweak this part?
Yes, the reason is that conversational agents are something new. So there are techniques on how to do user experience for mobile apps, for web apps,
Yes,
but not much for the conversational agents. And the main thing is the users to actually use it. And it's different, also the culture comes into play, how Finnish people will react, how Swedish people will react, how
Really?
Yeah, Irish people will react.
And what do you mean there? What's the differences?
Sometimes okay, you may be more straightforward with one culture, less straightforward with another. Or some cultures expect a good a greeting every time they use the chatbot.
Yeah.
Some others want to go straight to the.
That's
the
fascinating.
Case. Yeah.
So you have to work very closely with the people who are interacting with the
Oh
public,
yes.
and then you translate that into
Yeah.
the tech
And
speak.
actually, the more people use it, the more feedback we get and we learn about it.
Yeah. What did you learn from the usability testing, and how do you assess the usability of a chatbot?
Conversational agents and chatbots is a rather new way of interaction, and for that we are still learning. It's not as if we have a web app where we expect the menu to be on the left or on the top. How people react to the more natural conversation with a computer, with a device, it's rather new. So we still have to learn how to optimize it, and the way to do that is to involve end users as early as possible, even at the development stage, and get feedback all the time and follow through many iterations to satisfy their needs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the future is presumably looking at a very lean, agile response facility or ability within a chatbot. I mean, is that exciting for you? Are you still working to develop more?
I sincerely believe it's not a trend. The computer science, information technology is full of trends that will change the world, and they disappear. Chatbots, I believe they're here to stay. It is a natural way of interacting with computers. It will bring us more, it's much easier actually. You don't have to take the phone out, especially for voice chatbots. You can interact with the computer with no hands-free, more or less.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of case studies. Health, for example, you go to a GP and you have the nurse and they go through the triage procedure, which is filling in a form.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be done by a chatbot, not to eliminate the need for the nurse, but to assist the nurse to relieve her, to liberate
the
her
basic information.
and do something more substantial.
Yeah. I mean, this is just something I'm interested in. Is Alexa, for example, a voice responsive? I mean, at the beginning that seemed so futuristic that she knows everything and all that. I mean, do you see that a chatbot going that way, that it becomes a voice conversation with a person, what you think is a person?
Yes. You shouldn't think it's a person. In California, for example, they have a law that a chatbot must disclose that I'm not human.
Yes.
So that's another distinction. But there are cases for voice interaction, like remind me to take my evening pills.
Yeah.
Instead of having a bling, 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 you hear a voice. And you maybe, if you say, I already took them, oh, well done. So you get some encouragement.
It's impossible not to project human characteristics.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because that's kind of why you're doing a chatbot, is to make it feel like there is a caring presence. I mean, interestingly, when people in the past and in present, people who believe in God, you know, I mean, that's like the great chatbot in the sky. You speak to something that's invisible and it answers you. Well, I know in the chatbot there is a thing answering, but you know, there's a similar. We've got that embedded already in our psyche.
Exactly.
This notion of talking to a personal, interested thing.
Exactly, and expressing ourselves with natural language, not with taps and clicks and spending our lives like that. But the chatbot needs to have a persona. Like, did you take the pills? No, I forgot. Take them now. No, no.
Yes.
Okay, but nevertheless, always realize I'm not talking to a human. It's the machine that expresses the emotions too.
But it's kind of fascinating that you can create an interaction that is always kind and compassionate.
Yes.
That's a nice thing, isn't
yes.
it?
Yes, and when I said that the AI is not there yet,
Yes.
trying to create intelligent chatbots from training data out of social media interactions, they create bad chatbots, bad characters. Because the way people talk in social media is impolite sometimes.
Yes, exactly. It's not
aggressive.
It's not a good.
So the chatbot learning from that becomes a bully.
Just like a child.
Yes. Yes.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's why, not there yet.
We need nice people creating them.
Yes.
Well, Alex, I think the future is safe in your
We'll
hands.
see.
Alex, that's been really great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.